All right. Good day, everyone. Good day, everyone. We have a very exciting guest today on our CryptoFace channel, and that guest is Legedrick. Did I pronounce Legedrick correctly?
Yeah, Legedrick or Legedrick, it's both okay.
Okay, both okay. So, if any of you have been in the profit trailer world for the past, I guess, 3 days, it seems like it's been 6 weeks. But there is a battle that is being forged, and there are sides, whether it's good or evil, or right or wrong, or we're all on the same side, or who the hell is going on. But Profit Feeder, or something new called Profit Magic, or really more of just, it's more of paid add ons versus developer made, community made add ons that don't cost anything. Um, so I reached out, and actually Legedrick said that he'd be totally willing to answer some questions. So before we kind of go into basic questions, I want to show you guys something. I always do a little bit of research on as many people as possible that I can. And I did a little research on Legedrick, right? Some people are saying that, oh, maybe he could steal something. But I tell you what, when you go on his YouTube, he plays, um, ESO Dragonite? You play video games, right? You're Overwatch, is that right?
Yes, Overwatch is something I played once in a while, but yes, I'm still active in Elder Scrolls Online at least.
Ah, Elder Scrolls Online. Now, when you play Elder Scrolls Online, what kind of character do you play?
Well, it's mostly a Dragon Knight, being in a PvP guild here with some friends in Germany. Nothing special. It's just spending some free time gaming.
Alrighty. So you're just a normal. Are you an evil developer scientist that's planning and plotting on somehow stealing everyone's Bitcoin?
Um, no.
I didn't think
Simple
so.
question, simple answer. No.
Was a simple question. Um, what's your background in? Are you what do you do for work? Or you don't have to tell me who you work for, obviously, but what do you do?
So I'm working as a professional software developer, and I've been doing that for almost 15 years right now. Before that, when I still went to school, I also already made myself familiar with software development. So my, let's say, experience with software development is somewhat around 20 years by now.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm working with a quite huge company with uh, having units right all over the world in different regions. I'm responsible for the senior software development in there, and a working colleague of me and myself, we just started developing an add-on, or we do projects on a regular basis in our spare time, and we use these projects mainly for ourselves. We rarely open them to the public because it's mostly for our own private use and not for use for somebody else, because it's quite specialized
Right.
normally. But from time to time, we develop something that we open up to the public. For example, I don't know how many years ago, but some years ago, I also developed a platform for an online game called Eve Online,
Ah.
which I made available to the public, I think by now, like 5 years ago. And it's still running. I'm hosting it completely for free for the users, and that's fine for me.
How much
And
does it cost you to
yeah.
like host something like that for 5 years?
Oh, I didn't sum it up, but I think it's like $10 a month, for
So
example.
you're telling me
Yeah.
you've been paying $10 a month to so people could benefit from the an app or an add-on you developed for a pretty popular video game, and you've been doing that for 5 years.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
The only thing I'm doing there is I threw some affiliate advertisements onto that platform, which
Okay.
everybody could, of course, block with any ad blocker, but some don't, and some use my platform to buy other video game keys on a special platform. I get affiliate for it, and to be fair, the outcome is like plus minus zero for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey man, I have I have the profit trailer referral link. I've been doing this for what, like 3 weeks. Over 3,000 subs. I've made about $200, to which I've basically dedicated to giving away. So okay, so you did that before, so you have history. Yeah, man. So what did you make this add-on specifically for Profit Trailer, or was it sort of like for all kinds of different bots?
Well, we did make it for Profit Tailor, yes.
Okay.
So we started using Profit Tailor back in January, I think, and of course, as every new Profit Trailer user, we were kind of overwhelmed by what you can do with the settings. You have to get used to it. There's a huge wiki you have to read through to understand really what every variable, what every setting is doing there.
And even then, they
So
don't even explain it to the best. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff that if they really, I wish they had a better marketing person. I wish they had somebody like myself on their advisory board that could make, because your market in crypto in general is to new blood, fresh blood. They want it now, fast and easy. But go on with what you were saying. I'm sorry to cut you off.
no problem. I can understand that, of course, but on the other hand, it's really hard to fill such a huge wiki with that much content and keep it updated with
Yeah.
everything you do, of course. And so we went there. We used Profit Trailer. We joined communities, watched YouTube videos, and well, we had a huge Google spreadsheet where we each of us collected his sales, did some analyzation, etc. And we said, "Wow, this is way too much. Always copying it over into the spreadsheet, etc."
What
So
copying what into spreadsheet? What are you talking about? Like the data that you have every day, or
yes, for example, the sales data, yeah, and adjusting your balance and seeing some trends in there. And we also tracked our settings, which we nearly changed daily because we observed the market manually, and we changed the settings manually. So pretty much what our add-on right now is doing on an automated basis, we did manually, and we said that that's far too much.
alrighty. So I guess I should be asking kind of because I haven't downloaded Magic yet, and I think I'm going to. I made a video yesterday saying like I was teeter-tottering on Feeder and Magic, but I'm a people's champ, and I believe in the people. I think crypto has the best and brightest, and like holy, I guess you could say, people in the world. Guys like you, smart guys like you, and it also has the worst fucking people in the world. You know what I mean? Um, and
Well,
so,
sure, you can have that in every community out there, right?
yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But like crypto, like everyone's like out for themselves. We don't have like as you have to protect yourself, right? And then if you can form a little community, you protect each other. So I want to get into the actual PT Magic itself. So let's see here. So here's some screenshots I'm looking at. Maybe should I share my screen with you so you can see what I'm looking at?
Just tell me what you're looking
All
at.
right,
It
so I'm
should be
looking at
fine.
the screenshots. It's PT Magic, says dashboard, sales analyzer, market trends. So this all looks really nice, man. So it's the value to me of Profit Feeder or Magic. What we want it to solve is when Bitcoin gets pushed up 10% or down 10% or up 5% and down 5%, right? So I guess we don't get stuck with shit bags. So can Magic help me and everybody not get stuck with shit bags?
Well, I guess in theory, yes, it can help you with that. In practice, it's of course depending on what settings you're plugging into it, right?
Very good point.
As
Yeah.
with every other tool or add-on you are using, it's just as good as the user who is setting it up. Yeah. So of course you can configure
That's not what we want
BTMagic.
to hear. We want everything for free.
Sorry,
I'm
I'm
just
just being
kidding.
honest
Yeah,
here.
I
Yeah.
know, I know, I
So
know. You're right. You're
I
right. You're
know
right.
it's called magic, but it's not coming with pixie dust, right? So
Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. That's a real lesson. Nothing in life ever does. Not women, not cars, not profit trailer, not profit magic, profit feeder. Everything makes things can make things a little easier, but there is no absolute secret sauce. But I didn't mean to cut you off. So on here it says pump and dump protection works even for single trading pairs that act suspicious. So it's got to help a little bit, right?
yes, of course. We did implement these standard settings, which we are, by the way, using ourselves for like a week right now with PT Magic, and we are using it to prevent profit trailer from getting into trouble. Let's say when the market itself is on a big move, like on a big move down or on a big move upwards, but also especially these single market settings are there to protect you from a pump dump when a coin, for example, rises for more than 10% in a set time period, like 24 hours. You can exclude it from your trading, setting it just to sell only mode, for example, disabling DCA and whatever. Yeah, lowering your profit, so you just want to sell it off. That's let's say the basic setting we are using right now here.
All right.
We are
So,
also
could you? All right. So let's restate that maybe in shorter terms, if you don't mind. Okay. So, because you just rattled off like some big points of profit magic. So, what we want to know is like bullet points. What is PT Magic doing to better us than just normal profit trailer?
Well, PT Magic is observing market trends and adjusting settings. That's let's say its main course.
Okay.
The second course, or the second let's say benefit of Profit Trailer Magic, is you have a detailed sales overview. That's the second one. The third
Okay.
one is you not only get the bot that is changing your settings for market trends, but it also provides a monitor that is able to show you what is going on with your add-on and with your profit trailer itself. So telling you the settings you are currently running, showing you the trends with some graphs in there.
All right.
And yeah, that's pretty much it.
So I guess really I know what I want to do is I want to get this and I want to like dive into it a little bit, and just see how it works. But I mean, from what I see with the screenshots, I really like it. I saw some people on GitHub, they were coming at you a little bit, saying that like, or you were accused of copying a bunch of code or something, but which it's all bullshit. Like if anyone says that everyone copies from someone in some sort of fashion, but I mean, is there anything you want to say to like address anything anyone's said? I don't want to set you up for a fight or anything, but
No, I'm not even taking this as an offense, to be very honest with you. I understand it to a certain point, let's say, because you have to imagine that there exist other add-ons for some weeks or some
yes.
months right now, asking for money to pay people for it. And I want to be fair. I never used these add-ons, and I never looked deep into them.
Okay.
So I can't judge about them, and I don't judge about products where I did not see the code and I do not know the people. I will never say something bad about them because that's far below my level. Yeah, so it's okay if someone thinks these add-ons are good, they're worth their money. Fine with me. Use it, buy it. They're
Right.
great products, to be honest. Yeah, from what I've heard.
Yes.
But from my perspective, or our perspective, when we started to develop PTMagic, we wanted to learn a new technology, which was .NET Core, which is the technology behind PTMagic. And we do that from time to time. We educate ourselves in our free time. Our bosses, of course, are very happy with that. They don't have to pay any lessons for it, for example. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we are doing this. We are learning something. And to be fair, we at the beginning we were very egoistic about it because we developed it for ourselves only.
What
We
made
did
you
not
get
have.
into Profit Trailer? You said you got started in January. How long have you been in crypto? What made you get into Profit Trailer in crypto?
Well, we started in crypto back in June 2017. We did some manual trading. We did very much about watching YouTube videos, learning stuff because
Yeah.
crypto is quite new and you have to see how it goes. We learned very big lessons regarding manual trading, which we did for, let's say, the last 8 to 9 months. Um, and then in January, a colleague of mine approached me and said, "Hey, I discovered this board. Looks kind of promising, and he does a good amount of trading because we were kind of sick of doing manual trading with all the ups and downs and wrecking your nerves literally. And
Did you have
we
any
said,
trading experience like before crypto? Or, I mean, most people, everyone always wants to pretend that they're on Wall Street. You know what I mean? Like they used to be Wall Street guys, right? But, so you're just a self-taught. You're a self-taught person like the rest of us, and you're smart and you figure shit out. Is that an accurate statement? I guess, sort of. I don't want to make it sound like
Kinda,
a
yeah,
douche.
sort of,
Okay.
yes.
I
We,
think I am.
of course, not only self-taught. We learned many things from other YouTubers, yeah, especially regarding the trading, etc.
Yeah.
That's it. And no, we had no experience regarding trading before. Not in the stock market, not in anything. We didn't buy orange juice ever on the stock market.
Right on, man. So okay, so June 17th, you got or June 2017. Oh, man, I think I remember I bought a good amount of Bitcoin. I think around that time. What was the price in June? Like $4,000, $5,000 for a Bitcoin? Am I right?
Whoa, in June it was like 1200.
1,200? Fuck, isn't that crazy? Um, let's see. I'm on live chat here. No one's asking any questions. We have 28 viewers, so we're on live chat right now on YouTube. Okay, so if anyone's just joining us, we have Legedrick, however you'd like to pronounce it. He is the main or co-developer. You have a partner, right?
Yes.
Yep, him and his partner are the developers of Profit Trailer Magic, rumored to be the profit feeder killer. The profit feeder killer. I really want to see like what the settings, like how I program the settings, what that looks like. Like I need to download this right now, so I can actually get into the back end of this and really see what it looks like. So Legedrick, when I look at the profit feeder videos, you see like the black screen, right, with all the code and shit, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But is that what Profit Magic looks like, or how does the configuration settings look?
Yes, it looks pretty similar because the technology .NET Core is mainly using a so-called format JSON file for using settings and configurations. Of course, we could use something else like XML, for example, but that's way too much overhead. JSON is the go-to file format for it, and that's what we are using for the settings.
Actually, I'm sorry. I'm going to be honest with you. I just got a text message from a nice chickie, and I was reading it, and I didn't hear a damn thing you just said. I know that the chat, everyone else did, but could you repeat what you just said for me? What I asked how the coding actually looks, right? How does the files? Is it Notepad shit?
Yes, it is. To be honest, yes.
Okay.
You have to change a JSON file. That's the go-to format, which we are using today to set the settings. but there is some, let's say, small documentation within the settings file about what you're doing, and we always have the wiki, which is of course only like 3 days old, which we are extending on a day-to-day basis, and wherever it's needed. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, so we're looking at the chat, and I'm glad. So everyone's security, right? Security. Now, our community here at the CryptoFace channel had someone make an add-on where you know, we use it, and you know, I discorded with the guy. I felt, you know, he was cool and safe, and so like I was like, you know, I'm gonna use this. So security, right? And so people want to know about if their APIs are somehow able to be stolen, or if you can withdraw money somehow. Now, we know that you can select withdraw. You don't select withdraw, folks, when you set up your API key for the bot. But there's still other ways that your money can be taken. In fact, Legedrick, have you heard of CoinCube?
No,
Okay.
to be honest, never heard.
So if you're on your computer, man, go to coincube.io real quick while I talk about this. Are you able to do that?
Yes.
Okay. So CoinCube was and is an awesome idea. What it does is it indexes your cryptos, guys. Okay. So for example, if you use like the top 20 index, I have Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Monero, some other shit. If Monero goes up every day, once a day or once a week, whatever you set it to, it'll sell that Monero and transfer it. So everything's always equal. So you always have the same percentage of cryptocurrencies no matter what. It's called an indexing something, right? Now, what happened with these guys is someone's got their account information hacked or stolen. They logged in to their account and they sold their Bitcoin for like a super low ass price. So they put a buy bid and a sell bid, right? And that fucking guy's $100,000 worth of Bitcoin was gone. You know what I mean? And the guy was able to move it for $500 or something, right? So is there anything we should be worried about or defense-wise?
Well, again, I'm totally honest here. You should always be worried about your security whenever you are installing or using any third-party software on your PC, period. Yeah, no matter what. And of course, PT Magic is not any different than Profit Trailer Feeder, Tracker, and whatever other software you get onto your PC. It's always a risk. You're opening your, let's say, your door, and you're inviting something in. But I can assure you that PT Magic is not using any API keys because we don't need to. Yeah, we are only accessing the public APIs of Binance, BitTrex, and soon Poloniex to receive the market information from there. We are not touching any API key in there. As you know, we are not using any licensing service because it's for free, so we don't need this to verify something like Profit Trailer uses one of your API keys, so we don't touch it. Of course, to be honest, we could, yeah? As any software could. The others I just mentioned could do the same thing with your API keys. But
Same, like Profit Feeder could do the same thing, right?
It's only my word that we don't, of course. There's no, let's say, no 100% proof.
Can't another coder, can't another dev check and see if there's some like code in there that like scans it and takes it or something like that?
Yes, sure. And on my, to be honest, on my GitHub there is or on our GitHub there is an issue already that has been created where they asked if why this is not open source, and someone already it's called refactoring. He refactored our code, and you can do that easily with any .NET project and see what, let's say, functions are in there and what functions are being called in the code. And he did that and said there's nothing special about it. Yeah, so everyone could do it, even though this project is not an open source project. But of course, with any update, we could change something. But as I already said on my GitHub, and I think you saw it already, I'm happy to walk any developer through our source code, for example, to tell them what we are doing here and there in every line of code when they need to. That's okay for me. But of course, let's say the other part of the discussion has to understand the code. Yeah, so it shouldn't be someone who has never seen some source code.
Okay. Alrighty. So you don't want to make it public. You keep your okay. Oh yes. Here's was the next question I wanted to ask you. So like errors and updates, like servicing, right? So you put out this program. How long do you think, or will you keep like updating it? I mean, you know, because Profit Trailer is going to keep updating. Like, who's going to fix errors and bugs? You know what I mean?
Sure. So right now we are very eager to get the project up and running. Of course, mainly for ourselves, but also, of course, for others. As you can see on the GitHub, we are constantly trying to help others there, fixing bugs and doing so. We will, of course, continue it to develop new features into it. But of course, I can't promise you that we will do this in
Right.
like 10 years from now.
That's right. And you know what? If
I
you
don't know.
stop, listen, if you stop doing it after a month or 2 months, you never charged anybody for this. You have your own life. You know, I hope maybe you have a family or something. And so that's how you know, how it goes when you know, you're doing public service. And for that, we appreciate it. You know what I mean? So I think I know. I want to give this a shot because I want to familiarize myself with it. Let's take a look at the live chat here. What are some features in the near future that are being worked on? That's a good question, Crypto Puppy Therapy. Let me repeat it. What are some new features in the near future that you're working on? Anything?
Yes, I can name a few already. So on our let's say high priority list, there is adding Poloniex support. Then the next thing, let's say, is something that we call a volume trend trigger. So this is again something that may prevent you from falling into a pump and dump where we build, let's say, an average volume trend for each coin and see if the volume receives a spike, goes up to whatever, and it's above the average volume during the last 7 days, for example, then you will block the trading for this coin so you don't get pumped into it. That's one thing. And another thing would be adding a more detailed DCA overview, reading from the profit trailer data, just as we do with the sales analyzer, where we like display a bit more like how could you manually DCA this back into something, and where would you land on your percentages, something like this. It's hard to describe now just
I
from a
understand.
theory.
I understand. It's
But yeah.
just managing your DCAs, right? Fuck, I had a question I was just gonna ask you. That was good. Live chat's not really giving us much here. It'd be really great if it can decide the best market to trade in as well, BTC, USD, or even more. Oh yes, I remember my question. What kind of settings? What kind of trade settings are you using? You've been doing this. You've been using Profit Trailer since January. What kind of results have you been getting?
Well, it's like, let's say, mediocre results. Right now, to be honest, I'm deep into BEX.
Okay.
CVC is killing me, and I'm trading on BITUNIX. But yeah, well, that's just a coin.
First off, let's give him a round of fucking applause by being real. So everyone gets shit bags. Are you using EMA spread, EMA gain, EMA cross? What's your buy strategy?
I'm only using EMA gain right now.
When did you were you using something else before? EMA gain?
No, never.
Just start with EMA gain. Okay. So you use EMA gain. When you say mediocre results, what do you mean by that? Did you get... So here's what I've noticed. I don't know how many videos of mine you've watched, but and I kind of took a lot of shit for it this weekend. basically saying that like, I want to turn my bot off on the weekends. I know plenty of professional traders with all kinds of programs and shit, and they work 5 days a week. They don't have their shit running on Saturday and Sunday. And the past weekends are always, no matter what happens on the weekend, if Bitcoin goes up, Bitcoin goes down, whatever, it's just things are different on the weekend. So what kind of trends have you noticed? Like, have you noticed that, or did you get shit bagged on the weekend, this weekend?
I got shit bags before the weekend already. so yeah, it's the market. Yeah. So as I said, we're doing this like 8 months right now. Of course, not with the bot, but with manual trading. And at some point of time, you're getting used to it. Then you just don't look at it and walk away. Yeah. So I have an iron rule which I never have broken so far, and that's never sell at a loss. Period. Yeah. So, of course, there are deep bags, and even if it's showing like minus 14% right now for my worst bag, I'm holding on to it. Never sell at a loss. I did that with a manual trade back last year, and I bought, I think, Sia coin in July, and it went down during the next couple of months, like almost
All right,
80
so I have a
to,
question for you.
sorry.
And we're actually, it's from Crypto Gnome. Crypto Gnome, hello, Mr. Gnome, is in chat, and he asks, why not just release the source code if it is truly free?
I'm happy to answer that. So as I said already on our GitHub, we are using libraries in there that we both built up during the last, let's say, 15 years. And we're using techniques in there that we developed and that we use every day also in our business, and that we don't want to give out for free.
So if you guys didn't, if you haven't been listening to this stream from the very beginning, you work for a rather large company, and you're saying that you have used code that like you created that you don't want other people to know, maybe? Is that your answer?
Not necessarily to know, but to profit from, let's say. Yeah, it's there are many things we are using that we built with our experience during these years, and yeah, that helps, of course, with every new project we are doing.
Okay. Well, seems like we have a couple more people saying like there's no reason to keep it closed for source products. So, all right. So if Profit Magic is free, right? And let's say I profit off of Profit Magic, like, is it that what's different between about me profiting off of the magic than like some of the code that you used?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, and so like what would be, like you said you don't want people to profit off of like certain types of code. Like what makes that code special where like you wouldn't want someone to profit off of that, but you're
Well, it's mostly regarding the base functionality we are using, accessing JSON APIs from BitUniX, etc. That's pretty much it. It's let's say more like an everyday developer's work, where we build some kind of library we are using every day. Some simple things like reading a date and time in multiple formats, etc., etc. It's more the small kind of stuff, and we've built a very large library to quite an extent that we're using for this, and that's pretty much it. And I also see the comments in the chat that we should release a source code if it is really free. Sorry guys, releasing or doing something open source has nothing to do whether it is free or not, or the other way around. If something is free, you don't always have to be on the open source side of things.
I would also add this too, like just because you pay for something doesn't mean it's safer than anything else. And guys, we already had one person create a cool little add-on that we use here on the CryptoFace channel. And so, I mean, everything's kind of up for, up for grabs, I guess. But I don't know. I'm kind of like on the fence. I can see why some people are maybe sort of skeptic that it's not all open source. But like, I mean, I have a couple developers. There's one in particular. He's a really good friend of mine, and his name's Panoz Guy. And hopefully he's watching this. But he went through the code of an add-on someone else created, and to him it checked out. So would you maybe be open to like hopping on a Discord chat like we are now, maybe with a trusted cool developer that would be able to see maybe if there's anything that they think is malicious or not, just so they could get maybe just another stamp of approval? Would you be okay with that?
Yes, and I already said that to everyone who's asking that question. I already had a chat with GNOME, for example, like yesterday or the day before, I think, and I offered the same thing, walking someone through the code, also to him, for example. Yeah.
All right.
And
how long would that take, do you think? Like I know with my developer dude, he went through his last add-on, and it wasn't a big add-on. Cool add-on, but wasn't that big. Would you be open if I have, which I do, and you basically answer the question? I would love to arrange another chat with you, man. Let's go through the chat here. I don't know. People are asking like questions you kind of already answered, but that's all right. Let's see. What would you say about all the skepticism of you coughing profit trailer, profit feeder, etc.? I know some people said you copied some Excel spreadsheets and shit. Deal with it, fucking people. Everyone uses the same Excel and the same shit. And it's not like everyone just makes up. Everyone copies, like everyone uses different things, but I don't know. I think you sound like a pretty good guy. And if you're just joining us, I mean, if you go to Legedric's YouTube, he made an add-on for EVE Online that people have been using for 5 years. I mean, he has like a couple little affiliate links on there, which he's probably even barely broke even, for using it. And so it's hard because we've all taken hits in this space before. But when people put themselves out there, I feel like I have a pretty good intuition of who's trying to fuck me and who's not. And I don't get the feeling that you're trying to fuck a bunch of people because of your history and just you're doing this. So anyways, what's the difference between Profit Magic and Profit Feeder?
oh, that's hard to answer, as I honestly never used Feeder. And I never looked deep into it. So again, I don't know exactly what Feeder does. Quite
it's kind of a shitty question. I'm not gonna lie. That's probably one of the shittier questions I asked here. Is there anything else? I don't know. I think we're probably gonna wrap this up for now, if that's all right, or wrap it up soon. I kind of have to dip out of here soon, but is there any kind of like ending thoughts that you wanted to tell everyone? Or
well, I can only repeat myself saying that we developed this thing with our own ideas, with our own code from scratch. We never stole anything from any code from anybody, because the other projects are also closed code and you don't see what they are doing or what they will be releasing in the future updates. Of course, I understand the skeptics behind security. That's okay, that's fine. Trust will come over time or it won't. I do not care very much, to be honest, because we developed this. We are giving this out for free. Everyone who is using it, do it. If you are a skeptic and you think you have to pay money for it to be trustworthy, or for whatever reason you want to use the other products, do it, use it. They are great products in our mind, let's say, or in our opinion, sorry. That's it pretty much. Yeah. So we are not battling anyone. We won't say anything bad about the other products that's far below our level. All those guys shouting for open source. Sorry, guys, we won't do it for now. We have our reasons for it. Believe us or don't believe us. We walk any developer through the code if they want to see if there's anything bad in there, which of course the other products could also have in there, but that's okay for me. If someone is saying we have stolen some intellectual property, I must say, sorry guys, we just developed something here which may have similar functions like existing add-ons. But for example, the monitor is something that, as far as I know, the other auto setting tool does not have at all right now. It's okay for us if they think we have stolen some intellectual property. We are doing something similar. That's correct. Yeah, that's right. But only because, let's say, Tesla is building better electric cars. You can't tell them that they have stolen the intellectual property of every other electronic car manufacturer and they have to screw their cars, for example. Yeah.
I want to ask this question because this guy has asked it a couple times. Is it EMA linear regression? He's asking how the trends are measured.
The trends are only measured in a simple time frame. We are checking the price of, let's say, BTC Ethereum pair right now, and what was the price like 5 minutes ago, and that's the trend. Pretty simple.
Okay. I don't really think there's much else to ask, you know, without like having to repeat ourselves a bunch. I'm going to make sure this video stays on. First off, though, after I shut this down, do you mind sticking on chat with me for a quick second before you leave?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Guys, that's pretty much it. So that was that's Legedrick. He has been, you know, a developer for 20-something years. I'm gonna give it a shot. You guys can do, you know, whatever you want, but I'm gonna just kind of, I'm gonna check it out myself. At the end of the day, everyone has to make their own decision. We know that we're in the wild, wild west, but there are good people in this arena, and there's also the bad, and so no one wants the bad, but I think I'm leaning towards the good side here just because the history. The guy plays video games. You know, he's been doing this shit for a while. He has he's done public add-ons before years ago with some pretty big projects. He works for a very, very large company. I work for one of the biggest corporations in America, and so I know what it's like to want to do this in my spare time and just help people. So other than that, I appreciate everyone viewing, appreciate the interaction, and Legedrick, you want to say goodbye to everyone or any last message instead of, I don't want to end on a negative note. I don't want to end on trying to defend copyrights bullshit. This is fucking crypto. Okay, this shit, it's everyone's, if you want to help someone make money without fucking taking money for it, don't be so quick to chastise them. Don't be so quick to be a weed, okay? But yes, approach at your own caution, but fuck, man, people are really judgmental and but before they hear anything. Anyways, you have anything you want to say goodbye?
Just a goodbye for me. It's okay. No offense taken from anyone.
All right, right on. Well, all right, see you guys.